I think the main idea is how mm, I think the main idea of this one is how like moving can be stressful on a person.
Right? But it's also kind of a good thing, right? It was a new beginning
Yeah,
for you. So maybe we can say that here. We can say, while moving is stressful, it also leads to new beginnings. Okay, so for me, that opened up an opportunity to start figure skating.
yeah,
Does that feel, is that reasonable here?
yeah.
All right. Now, what is the main, what's the main idea out of this last paragraph here? Um, where you started figure skating? Like what were we trying to convey to the reader?
That change is a good thing.
Overall, yeah, that's our thesis. Change is a good thing. We'll actually start with that. Change is a good thing. Okay. But what were we trying to say down here about figure skating? What did figure skating give you?
Confidence and friends.
Okay. And what about this confidence?
Huh?
What about confidence?
Well, when I first started skating, no one's good, so I was kind of bad at it. But the more I just kept going to practices, and it made me confident. Like for little things, I even feel confident about.
Exactly. Yeah. So we can
And
say
I
that
also have
here.
friends with me, so basically, yeah,
It opened up new friendship and eventually allowed me to gain confidence back, not just in, well, uh, even with little things. Okay. All right. So now, so we've talked. Let me get rid of this. Um, we'll remove that later. Okay. So we want to now talk about your improvements in school. Okay. So we
okay,
want to talk about things like grades, understanding, I don't know, desire, excitement, confidence. You have to write some sentences that express how, like, you're doing a lot better in school. You might even talk about how, you're eager for college, or maybe, maybe you doubted yourself at one point. You weren't even sure you could go to college, or you weren't sure if you were ever going to get over the sickness, but now you're seeing,
yeah,
you know, okay, I can do this.
okay. Should I mention how school was before I was homeschooled?
Are
Because
you referring to California or middle school, or what are you
middle
referring?
school, yeah, because I wasn't homeschooled for my middle school years.
Well, was there an improvement in your understanding school?
Yeah, when I went to a preparatory school, and
Okay.
for 1 year, this was before I became homeschooled, so I skipped 8th grade. Um, because of that, I actually got my grades were a little bit better. I mean, I was getting A's and B's, but not in
Yeah,
math and Latin. I failed those two.
that's okay. Yeah, we can leave that out. Um, you want to, yeah, you want to give, when you watch, or do you watch any Hallmark movies? You know what I'm talking about when I say those?
You mean
Right.
like those Christmas movies?
Yes, yes. They
No.
they okay. Well, when you're telling a story, you leave out kind of the stuff that doesn't help make your case.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to leave out that part. You don't want to say, and but yet I still didn't do well in Latin and math. You want to leave that out. So yeah, why don't you write as much as you can, and you can even talk about the more recent stuff. We're drawing a comparison between the past and the
Got it.
present, basically. So uh, as much as you can, we're trying to get another full body paragraph in here.
All right, got it. All right, here's what I wrote. Is it good, by the way, like what I wrote? Are you muted? Because I can't hear you.
You're right. I apologize. I'm so sorry. Okay. So the reader is going to read this first sentence and they're going to wonder, how is it that you were able to get into a more difficult school when you were struggling with your grades?
Ooh, yeah, I should likely mention that. What some schools they have like a lottery type system to get into, like they will like you get selected like that.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
I I got selected like that now, and my mom, how?
well, no, so that part, what I was going to get to is that part doesn't like that. It doesn't really matter how you got into the school. It matters what you did once you got there. So you could even just say that. You could say, I was able to get into a college preparatory school um, through a lottery, to keep it really brief. And I was surprisingly getting A's and B's
Because I was like, because
in
like some of
all.
the not all, I failed Latin and math.
We're gonna leave that out. We're gonna leave the we're gonna most of my classes. We're gonna leave that out. Um, we gotta, yeah, okay. Um, you could say for most students, this type of school is very challenging, something like that. Okay. Um, but you can say, you can just add, you could add something here, but um, I was able to thrive, you know, uh, this is good. This is really good. Okay. Um, so now we want to talk about um, how has your confidence improved or why? That's one
Um,
question we want to answer. And then what slash why are you excited about for college?
okay, I can
That's
answer
those are
both
the
of those.
yes, that's what we're looking for next.
Um, so this is just the question for the confidence. Should I mention how my confidence like got better when I went to the school for like how my grades got better and that stuff?
Yes.
All right. My mom tells me that I was a warrior in that school because it was hard. A lot of kids were leaving because it's a preparatory school.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
And that's important to mention. That's really important to mention that like you stood up to the challenge.
yeah, I didn't have a lot of friends. I mean, I'm friends with some people that I know from that preparatory school, but I'm not because I only talk with one person because she was with me for most of the time because
well, you got
everyone else was mean. But I'm not gonna mention
it,
that.
it's I know for women it's different than men, but for men like having like two friends is a lot, like two good friends is a lot.
Yeah.
And I think with social media and just things that really maybe aren't in tune with reality. You know, you might ask your parents, like, how many like good friends do they actually have? Like good friends, like not just like activity friends, like people
Oh,
that, you
I know.
know, right? How
I know
many
how
do we
many
really
good
have?
friends they have.
Yeah. And you realize like, you know, I don't have that many. So like even just one or two is a lot.
Well, I know which good friends they have. It's because I've also met them and they've also known me since I was little. There were these really two good friends. We don't talk to them anymore, and I miss them so much. They were really nice.
Well,
But anyway,
when
yeah,
you're
but
when you're
like, sorry, what were
go
you
ahead.
saying?
No, go ahead. What you're doing is great. Keep getting those ideas flowing.
Um, yeah, just like every single time we see I've one of my mom's like my mom has a very close friend, and I met him, and she's been friends with him since like a very young age. And when I met him, like, yeah, I can see why he's a good friend.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think maybe let's see, they have I think maybe like seven close friends. No, 10.
That's a lot. I mean, like
Yeah,
legitimate, like 'cause it's hard to make time. You gotta, you know, you can't just avoid, you know, you gotta text and call, you gotta see them every once in a while.
yeah,
Like it's hard to have more than a couple of friends.
yeah. They're
Real, you know,
actually two of those friends are visiting today for my dad's birthday thing. His birthday was
nice.
on November 1st, but late party anyway.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right.
They like some of the close friends I mean my parents have, they're work partners actually. So they're all friends together, you know?
Yes. That's
Yeah.
great. All right. Well, yeah, give me some sentences here that convey, you know, the answers to your confidence improving and maybe what you're excited about with college. That will help to kind of close out this paragraph.
Here's what I wrote.
Right. Excellent. So it really feels like you're coming around to this, figuring out how to write. You know, this is this adds to the paragraph. Um, the school year was rough, and there were times where my confidence dropped, and I wanted to leave school, um, but my science teacher kept encouraging me to keep going, and that made me confident to get better, to finish the school year. Prayers are hard because they give you so much work. I also got to go. Can't wait to make new friends, explore campus, and pursue what my favorite subjects are. But you actually know you've already told me what you're looking forward to in college. Is that has that changed? I mean, are you still um
Still what?
isn't it still marine biology?
Yeah.
I
Well, for
know
now
it
it's
will,
marine biology. I still got like more time.
of course, but it's nice to be specific. I know it'll be challenging, but you can say, I'm ready for the challenge or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Okay, so kind of back to like what we started out with, which is um what is the main idea of this paragraph? And it's that to me it's that uh this school was challenging, but you were able to persevere through it, and that helped to build your confidence.
Yeah.
My confidence increased, and now I am looking forward to college, which didn't, and even if this isn't true, just let me just say, which didn't seem like an option a few years ago. Okay, so this actually is your conclusion. I know I said it was the introduction. This is actually your conclusion. Okay. You might be wondering why. Conclusions are actually where you restate the main ideas. You restate the main
Hmm.
ideas, and then you restate your thesis. Your thesis change is a good thing, and it just sort of closes out the essay. It summarizes everything you just said. So this is actually your conclusion. We'll talk about the introduction, but it's easier to actually write this after you have written all your other paragraphs. So um, now the introduction has a lot of things in it that are like the conclusion. You do want to talk about what are the main ideas, but it's more focused on your thesis. Okay, so your thesis here, let me see, do we even have a thesis anywhere? Let's go see. We do not. Okay, so we're missing your thesis. Your thesis here is it is change is a good thing, but we want to make an argument. We want to make this into an argument. So what kind of argument can you make? Um, well, you can say that uh, something about how you know sometimes, well, not sometimes, we could say that um, you know I want to I don't want to write this for you, but I think you want to say something about how like every every kid should experience some sort of a challenge or setback or failure. Like
Yeah.
they're going to be better off. They're going to be better off in the end. Okay, so just like with the previous essay thing that we we're writing about Percy Jackson. You want to make an argument. You want to make a case that like every kid should face a challenge or setback or failure because the reality is that they will at some point in their life. Like there's no one that goes through life and doesn't have something like this happen to them. So we want to try to write something that says, hey, like you're going to struggle in this life. So you might as well face it and go through it and you'll be better off because of it. Does that
Yeah.
make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So could you try to put that into a sentence or two?
All right. So, just double checking. You want me to try to, okay, okay, let me just, should I use the if you look at me today for like the start of the sentence? I can't tell if you're talking or you just muted.
Okay, sorry about that. So you wanted to know, I took that away because no, I just want you to focus on the thesis, just the
Okay,
thesis, just the thesis, like whatever. We'll get to that other thing I wrote in a minute.
all right. Like, how am I supposed to make this into an argument if I'm like saying it like should I just say change is a good thing because it's like a new chapter in your life, you can meet new people and that kind of stuff.
You can words like should or will, you know, th those are kind of argumentative words. I'm gonna help you rewrite it. I just wanted you to give it a first go.
All right. I'll write what I can write. Okay, here's what I wrote so far.
Okay, so we're missing in yeah, this it's okay. This we'll use this, but we want to say we want to make the argument we want to say that every person will experience setbacks and failures, and we want to make this an argument, should experience setbacks and failures because it will make them into an even better person. That's your thesis.
Got it.
Okay. Your teacher's gonna, by the way, and your teacher's gonna push back on this. Doesn't matter what we write. So we're not gonna like go nuts here. Um, so to
What if
kind
she
of,
doesn't? But
I
it's
hope
a rare
that's true.
chance.
Yeah, anything's possible.
Yeah, man, anything's possible.
Anything's possible. I'm asking you to do it this way because I just don't think that your teacher will. She's gonna push back no matter what you write. So this is basically a rough draft. We can clean it up, but let's just see what she says before that. So what I was going with is here is that an introduction. You want to sort of create a hook for the reader. If you look at me today, I am a happy teenager, thriving, or doing well in school, sports, and socially. Okay. It was not always this way. So that's kind of like a hook. It's like Wait, what do you mean you weren't, you weren't always this way? No, I struggled. Um, Only a few years ago, I was struggling to um, pass my classes and ex and let's see, what else can we say here? Only a few years ago, struggling my classes and was not sure about my future. Now, if this isn't true, that's okay. Um, Everything changed for me when I moved from California to Arizona. At first, I didn't want the change, but now I see that change is a good thing because it's a new chapter in your life and you have a fresh start. Also, change will help you meet new people, try new hobbies, and discover new things. For example, you try out a new sport. Every person should experience setbacks and failures because it will make them even into an even better person in the end. Okay. This has all the makings of what they're looking for. Okay. So you've got your introduction, one, two, three, four body paragraphs, then your conclusion. This is an excellent, excellent, excellent rough draft. So when a teacher, you remember, asks you for a rough draft, this is what they're looking for. This is not perfect. This is got mistakes in it, grammar mistakes, spelling mistakes, maybe, but this is a rough draft. Okay. And the only changes you would need to make for a final draft, it depends on what the teacher is looking for. Like this is like checks all the boxes, but it doesn't like have it can be better, right? And so the question is, well, how much more time should you spend on this? Knowing your teacher, I would just submit it as is when you can. I know you can't right now, but I would just say, hey, you know what? This is it. She's gonna push back, and then you can rework it, would be my recommendation.
Hmm.
All right, so good job. We're gonna stop there for today.